Hey everybody, welcome to High Gluttony. This is En Croute Part 2, or as we're calling it, Puff Puff Pastry Continued. I'm Becca.
And I'm Gretchen.
And we pick up Part 2 with Gretchen working on her second batch of dough that she made in Part 1. I'm continuing with my first batch. Our salmon has been curing overnight and our dough has been resting overnight.
And so the recipes we're working from, just as a refresher, because I don't know if you're binging these or if you're separating them. So we've got Salmon En Croute recipe from BBC Good Food that Becca's using. Our puff pastry came from the kitchen. Again, that's kitchen without the E at the end. And my beef Wellington recipe came from delish.com with influences from other parts of the internet, I guess. That's how I put that.
So we pick up this episode with pretty much wrapping our proteins in the dough that we'd made, preparing our side dishes and some mise en place. And then Gretchen makes some fun snacks, which we'll describe a little more, but do you want to tell them about your snacks that you made?
I had some cheese curds I'd gotten from the farmer's market and some salami from Trader Joe's. And I did some little puff pastry spiraled snacky things. Well, in honor of my old days in the kitchen when you made little random snacky things out of scraps that were going to get thrown away. You could make yourself some snacks sometimes. We'll throw some pictures out there. But I had to use up my puff pastry from the store because I left it on the kitchen counter like a big dum-dum. So there had to be snacks.
There had to be snacks. And we decided that'll be the title of Gretchen's first autobiography.
Yeah,
there will
the first
be snacks.
One. Yeah,
the first one, exactly.
There will be snacks and extra snacks, I believe, is the working title. Yeah.
Yeah, and then more. Yeah.
And then more snacks. And a few more, even more snacks. It's a very long title. So we're continuing with having a ton of videos from this filming and also further batches of dough that I have now made because I'm obsessed with making puff pastry at home now. So we hope you all enjoyed that. You can see those on Instagram, highgluttony.com, YouTube, or Facebook. We're on all those socials. And there are 5 sections in this part 2 of the En Croute series. So you can look forward to hearing some little snippets at the beginning of each section from us to make sure you understand what's happening.
Yeah, we found this one to be a little more cohesive, and yet we thought it might be helpful if we talked you through the pieces a little bit more.
I mean, sometimes stream of consciousness isn't the best way to record a podcast, I guess. It's hard to be charming and scripted. Sorry.
No, it's hard. So we're trying to help with these little new intros for you. Have fun. We hope you enjoy this. We hope you make it and let us know how it turns out for you.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
All right, here we are at part 1. We're rolling out our dough. It's been in the fridge overnight, chilling out. At the same time, Gretchen is working on, that's me, Gretchen, I am here, talking about myself in the third person. I'm about to sear my tenderloin. Becca is chopping her herbs to go into her cream cheese mix that goes between the 2 salmon fillet and throwing together a little cucumber and red onion pickle that goes on the side.
Yeah, most importantly in this section, what we're doing though was a brilliant idea Gretchen had the day before, or I guess in part 1, which is that we should probably do a test run of our pastry before we wrap a bunch of protein in it and put it in the oven, only to figure out that it didn't come out right. So we're kicking off this part with trying to test that out. Gretchen gets hers going first, and then I pick up when I can, and stay tuned for how it turns out.
Just because I'm getting my pan screaming hot right now. Very, very hot, like had weird, tough places in it. And now I'm like freaking out because I'm like, what if the second batch is just this bad? Like, I don't understand why this is terrible. Like, it's so bad.
So should I get my oven on? Are we going to do a quick test of it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. And it's 425, I think.
Yes. Gonna do a rollout first because mine's not rolled out completely yet.
Mine's still in the fridge. So
yeah, mine is too, and mine's still on the last fold. I just rolled it a little bit and then stopped. This is what mine looks like right now.
Can you show me again?
It still looks like a book.
Yours is really thin.
Really?
Mine's much thicker.
I did roll it some, but you have a little bit more work to do. But
I guess so.
Because I was starting to roll it out last night, and I was like, oh no, I don't need to do that right now. So
right.
So I'm gonna roll mine out.
Are you leaving your cell pat under it, or?
I'm leaving mine on the roll pat just so I can move it around a little bit easier. I think
totally. What's the final size supposed to be? Okay, we haven't read the last step. So, okay, we're picking up. We've chilled our puff pastry overnight. We've both been curing our salmon since yesterday. And at this point, we've got our oven set to 425. We are supposed to roll out the puff pastry dough to between 1/4 and 1/8 inches thick. Use the dough as is to make a large tart, or cut the dough into whatever shapes you need. Transfer them to tart pans or baking sheets. There's a little note that says, if the dough feels very soft and warm at this point, chill for another 30 minutes before baking.
So we start at 425 and we actually lower the temperature while baking.
Oh, cool. Does that make a difference then on if you have a gas or electric oven?
Theoretically, a little bit, yes, because an electric will hold a little bit more heat than a gas, but not so much where I'd be really overly concerned. It's not quite the same as like with a glass cooktop, where for electrics, you're going to have a lot more heat retained. Not the squarest pastry around. That baking that not good batch was just like, oh God, this is terrible.
Oh, right. So what'd you end up doing with it? You probably didn't turn it again, right?
No, I just baked it. It had almost no flavor to it. And then it had weird, dry, really tough parts in it. And it was just kind of a nightmare.
Like it.
Like, wow, this is really terrible.
You didn't have amazing biscuits with your chicken last night, huh?
No, they were really, really shitty biscuits. And we ended up eating them before we ate the chicken. So that was fine.
Right.
Although this should just tell you what my family is like, or, what sort of thing would happen. Even if I was here by myself, most of it's been eaten.
That's great.
All right, I think I've got mine almost thickness I want here.
Okay.
A little bit more.
Are you doing a 1/4 inch or closer to an 1/8?
A little closer to an 1/8, I think.
Okay.
It's not quite that thick, just because of the size of my roast here. I've got it out in front of me so I can kind of get a good idea. Although this dough is a lot nicer than that other one, the really bad one that I made last night. So
well, that's good.
I think we'll be good.
So just more water then?
Yeah, more water. It really needed more water, because I think part of why there were really horrible tough parts was trying to figure out if we needed to brush this with egg wash. I think we egg wash our things, right? Yours at least has an egg wash.
It does. Yes. I don't know if it's right away though.
Not right now, no. I was just trying to determine if we really needed to egg wash our other bits. Since it's just cosmetic, I'm not going to worry about that.
I see. Got it. For our test one.
Our test piece. Yeah, and I'm just taking making the sides of mine square, and I'm going to take the pieces that I cut off and bake them.
I'm laughing because I know you said test piece, but it kind of sounded like testes.
I'm gonna bake. We're not baking any testicles today. No, we're not. That is not part of the plan.
And we're certainly not egg washing them.
And we're definitely not egg washing any testicles. I don't own any testicles, so
I don't either.
You have resident accessible testicles, but not.
That's true.
They don't actually belong to you. So,
But if I needed them, no, I'm just kidding.
if you needed some testicle egg wash, you at least have some there. You might be able to recruit.
Have you looked at your salmon? How much water came
No,
out for
I
you?
haven't. Let me put my puff pastry. I think is real good here. I guess I didn't really look at the size of your salmon yesterday.
Here's my salmon.
Oh man, they're pretty big pieces. Okay.
They are big. Yeah.
But if your pieces, if your puff pastry is about the same size as mine, I think you'll be great.
Okay.
You'll be totally set.
Okay.
So, plastic wrap over the top of this, and then I'll go grab my salmon so that I can show you what my salmon looks like. I might leave mine to cure another day or two since I'm not using it today.
Got it.
Apparently a fair amount of water because I just tipped the tray a little bit and there's a bunch of water just dripped on me. So when it might have been an
I had a lot.
to have, I don't know if you can see that, right? Yeah. I think I might transfer this to something else to let it cure a little bit more.
How much longer did it take you to finish the duxelle yesterday?
I think I let it cook for another 20 minutes. I really didn't necessarily need to let it cook that long. I was just trying to get a lot of the moisture out of it. Although today it's interesting because it smells really good. Truffle powder really must have done some good work in there.
Nice.
But when I looked at the recipe later, though, it was definitely 20 to 25 minutes or something like that. And I was like, oh, I think I've been cooking this for like 45 minutes.
Whoop. Do I need to cut mine in 2 pieces?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Sort of depends on what you want to do. Because you very well could just put the fish in and then fold it over. So you don't have to go either way.
I probably won't cut it.
Because it's really up to you. We're kind of following that recipe, but you can kind of decide what you feel like doing. Oh, okay.
Right.
My salmon is real stuck together. So did you already rinse yours off?
I haven't rinsed it yet. I just pulled it out.
Put a little bit more salt underneath of that because the skin side that was down is really nice and dry and well cured, and the other half is not
as much
solid. So I'm flipping it over.
I see. Can I show you my dough? Do you think this is big enough?
Oh, I would think so.
Okay, I hope so.
All right, I'm going.
Oh my god, I'm okay.
You're so excited.
I'm just kidding. I'm so excited. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm putting my test pieces of pastry in the oven.
Okay.
I've been roasting some garlic today too.
Oh, nice.
I bought some garlic on Friday and then came home and promptly found out that I did not need to buy any more garlic. So of course, a little more, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Garlicky?
I need some roasted garlic because I don't have any. So yeah, that was sort of where I was trying to go there.
I haven't chopped up any of my stuff for the filling.
Oh, I think you've got time because I've got, since mine's going to take a few minutes to assemble, I haven't even started searing it yet. I'm about to do that.
How are all my cutting boards being used right now?
I need to send you cutting boards for Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to put some grapeseed oil in my very, very, very hot pan. I left it in the oven while the oven was preheating. So it's like really hot. And then I've got it on medium high heat. Go with the tenderloin.
Oh, I can hear that.
Let's see if I set off the smoke alarms today.
Is it okay to have some stem with my watercress?
They should be tender enough.
Okay.
Actually, can you hold it up so I can see it?
Yeah, this is probably like the biggest one.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
I was hoping that was the type you had.
How many ounces are you cooking? Or pounds?
So, actually, I didn't weigh it. The whole loin I got yesterday was 5 1/4 pounds.
Wow.
And I cut it up so that I had some steaks, and then I've got like the tail end of filet I've got wrapped up as a little tiny roast.
Okay, I'm just putting in a piece of my dough because my oven wasn't hot. Yeah. How big of a piece did you do?
Oh, it's pretty small. I mean, I just took the little end pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect. That'll tell you what you need to know. I like trying to take a video, and I think I've just been standing in front of it the whole time. Oh shit! Shut the oven, girl.
It's been 10 minutes.
No, I opened the oven and like a big dummy, but no, it looks beautiful. Mine looks
Yay!
great. It's puffing.
Yay!
It's doing
It's
what
puffing.
it's supposed to do. Of course,
Puffing.
puffing. It's puffing like puff pastry.
You did
I'm
it.
so scared that I'd really fuck this up and then like just forced you to do this terrible thing that you were going to be like, why did you make me do this? Please never do this to me again.
I can hear all the searing sounds. That's fun.
Yeah.
Might hear me chopping my watercress for my filling. Okay, so while Gretchen is searing her tenderloin, I am making the filling that goes between the two salmon pieces. Watercress, cream cheese, dill, lemon, zest and juice, smoked salt, which I don't have, and then flour for dusting, egg yolks for egg wash.
Well, that's not
outside.
going in your
That's not going
in your
inside.
filling.
No, but this has it just as like for the en croute, and so
Yeah.
I just kept reading.
So I had to tie my roast to make sure it stayed straight. And my tying,
Uh-huh.
I haven't tied a roast in a really long time because I haven't done anything that requires like, perfection or
Sure.
exactness in a while. So I'm proud of my tying.
Nice job.
Did a good job.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna just stand this puppy up on the end for a minute here, because part of what we're trying to do here is make sure that it's not going to produce. Basically, you're trying to get the juices will stay inside the meat, a little bit of the sear, and it helps develop the flavor. Is our Maillard reaction going on here?
You might have to repeat that after you're done searing,
Got it.
but that's cool.
Pretty nice sear all around there. Not my most amazing searing ever, but
But it is seared.
it is seared. And I didn't set off the fire alarms. Yay!
Yay!
For once.
So you were saying you sear the meat beforehand like that. Why?
To help keep some of the juices inside the meat and just for flavor development. Going back to our Maillard reaction like we did with the caramelized onions. My puff pastry looks beautiful. How's yours?
I have just a few minutes left.
10 minutes is up. I'm going to get my small pieces out of the oven. Because I had a couple smaller pieces and a couple fatter pieces, so I'm going to get the little ones out. I think they're done. They're pretty brown at the ends, so I'm pretty sure they're done.
Good.
Oh, shit. I almost dropped the plate. Those in, turn it down to 375. But no, this looks great. I hope yours are in the same vein.
I hope so too. I guess we'll find out. I love dill.
I got really excited. I bought a dill plant this year and it actually grew, which is a
cool,
really nice thing to have happen. And the resident snails didn't destroy it.
Even better.
And I basically just took all the seeds off and put them back in the pot, and they're all starting to grow. So I was very excited to see that the other day. Oh, this is beautiful.
That's great. Oh, yay.
Really nice and flaky. Oh, maybe not quite baked in the center. It's a little tough.
Okay.
I may have kneaded it a little bit more than I needed to.
Needed.
Mm-hmm. More kneading than needed. And I think we could have maybe added a little more salt.
Okay.
But as far as homemade puff pastry goes, good deal.
Right. Okay. My 10 minutes is almost up. I'm going to grab it real quick. I don't know.
All right. Show it to me. Uh-oh. That looks pretty good.
Really?
Actually. Yeah. Because you're not going to get it's not going to lift a ton.
I mean, it did there. I guess there are layers.
But yeah, like I can kind of see your layers. Like this is mine.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay. Because yours is just a little bigger.
It's just a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you're good.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God.
You did it. You did it.
Ah! Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so excited. This is amazing.
Okay.
Okay. Watch, I like fuck up the salmon now.
You know what? You've done the hard part. If you've got good puff pastry, I say even if you fuck up the salmon, you should be like, you know what? I did the harder part. Okay, like
exactly. Okay, so we are in section 2. And at this point, Gretchen is about to start wrapping up her tenderloin with the layers of prosciutto and duxelle. And the way that I interpreted it over video is that it's wrapped up kind of like a cinnamon roll.
And the very important thing for any time you're doing something wrapped in puff pastry is keeping it cold. And one of the most important things that I learned from watching the Great British Bake Off when they did this was that shit has to rest. You cannot put it warm into the oven and expect to be successful. Your dough will just melt off the sides. So very important for that, getting it wrapped and letting it rest for about a half hour before you put it into the oven. Yeah, no pastry melting. No one wants melted pastry. We want baked, crispy pastry.
Well, and you certainly don't want to go through all of that work and then have it melt out just because your meat is hot or warm even.
I'm sorry, I have to say this the way you wrote it out because I think it's hilarious. I just noticed. Alert! Melting can occur! Alert, alert!
Warning, warning!
So you're working on your cream cheese filling. Here's the next steps on my side. So I've got my seared tenderloin, and now I gotta take my string off of it. I'm basically gonna do all this on a one shot video. So hopefully I can do this really fast. So I'm gonna place. Oh, okay. So they actually put their mushrooms into the same pan that they cook their tenderloin in, which would give it more flavor, but it's not essential. It's fine. So I'm going to start by placing a piece of plastic wrap down on my work surface. Then overlapping so that it's twice the length and width of the tenderloin, I'm shingling prosciutto in a layer till it's big enough to cover the entire tenderloin. Then I'm putting the duxelle on top in a thin layer over the prosciutto. I'm gonna season my tenderloin, and then I'm actually gonna put some Dijon mustard on it. This came from a couple different recipes. I think one of them was even like Gordon Ramsay's or something like that. So, and I think that the New York Times recipe also said to put mustard on it. And I was like, well, I love mustard on beef, so that sounds like a great idea.
Sold.
All right, so I'm gonna season and then put mustard on my tenderloin and place at the bottom of the prosciutto. Roll meat into the prosciutto mushroom mixture using plastic wrap to roll tightly. Tuck ends of prosciutto as you roll, and then twist the ends of the plastic wrap tightly into a log and transfer to the fridge to chill. Okay,
you got this.
I got this. I can do it. Little more puff pastry to get me through.
Oh my God, it tastes so good.
Oh, it's really nice. I'm very pleased, and I'm glad
still chopping. If you can hear.
I'm sorry, you're still chopping. I don't know why I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to let you know if you could hear it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, you're very pleased with it?
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the puff pastry, and I'm mad at my first version, but that's not gonna do me too much good at this point. So
right, we're at where we're at.
Probably do this way. I don't know which way is better. Season up this tenderloin a little bit more.
Have you smoked?
Not a lot, just a little hit a little bit ago. It's very intense, and I was very focused on figuring out if the puff was gonna work or not. Oh my God, the bigger pieces look so good. Oh, I'm so excited. It's too hot to pick up. I was like, I'm gonna show you, and I was like, no. No, you're not.
No, don't do that.
A large spoon and my brush. Now I'm just going to take some Dijon out of my jar here, put it on the plate. So I'm taking the mustard. I'm actually brushing it on, so I get a nice thin layer. Okay. My meat has a little crevasse. I'm going to shove some mustard into the crevasse. I love mustard. Plus, yeah, I love mustard and beef together. It's one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy salmon with Dijon too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dijon is good stuff.
It really is.
There's some moisture on the outside of my roast that I'm hoping isn't gonna. Of course, I am gonna put it in the fridge because as I learned from the watching the Great British Baking Show, you gotta chill that shit down.
That's right.
I think you can't.
Or it like melts out.
Yeah. I don't want melted Wellington. I don't. Not the first time I attempted anyway. Maybe the next time I could do it that way, but no.
Not for our New Year's episode.
Not our New Year. We're not kicking off 2021 like that. Hell no. Next step, the cling wrap out. Maybe don't put the plastic packs of prosciutto right next to the hot sheet pan. That might not end well. This is gonna have to rest for at least 20 minutes in the fridge.
Oh, I never turned my temperature down.
Fine. You had a small piece. I think you really only need to do that. Like my small pieces were done in the first 10 minutes, really. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
It did what we wanted to check it would do. So you really didn't need to like do the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay. I got my nice big sheet cling film down on the counter. Now we're going for prosciutto. How's your filling going over there?
Good. It's done. I need to rinse my salmon and let it dry. And then I need to get my egg yolks together.
Oh, I need to do that too.
And then we'll probably do our asparagus towards the end, right?
I was thinking I'd probably just toss it on the same sheet tray as the roast once we get it, once it gets towards the end of the cooking. Hello, prosciutto, my old friend. Now I have to chew through my mouthful of prosciutto.
Oh, I mean, obviously you had to taste it.
Yeah, to go consult the pictures. Their duxelle was much more pasty. Mine is definitely quite dry.
I better rinse my salmon.
Oh,
I'm a little behind on that.
You know what I forgot to do? Take the twine off of my roast before I brush the mustard all over it. All right.
Well, now you have some mustardy.
I know, I'm a mustardy string.
Mustardy string, right? Yeah.
Mustardy string.
Okay, I have to turn the water on.
Put a little more mustard into the, as I'm enjoying calling it right now, crevasse. the roast crevasse. Rinsey. Get all the stuff off my hands that I just got on there.
All right, here we go. Is that what you said?
Yep, I'm rolling.
Okay.
I can roll meat. I can't roll a joint to save my life, but I can roll meat to save my life.
Very different skills.
Different, very different. Okay.
Which, speaking of, I need to go do that.
Roll a joint or have a smoke?
Have a smoke.
Oh, this thing is gonna be big. A little bit of that mushroomy goodness came out the end. Fold this other end in. Oh no! I've got a hole. I've got a ham hole.
A ham hole?
Yeah, ham hole.
What are we gonna do?
Patch it with more ham.
Okay, quick,
get the ham.
more ham.
Okay. This thing is huge. I did not fully appreciate how thick this would be.
Does that make it easier or harder to?
Well, apparently I could have used at least one or two more sheets of ham in there, but it's fine. Well, it's in here now. We've committed to this level of ham, so.
Right.
All right. Going into the fridge. 20 minutes on the clock.
20 minutes.
And welcome to section 3. So we've wrapped our proteins. We're getting them in the fridge to chill. Becca is finishing up her cream cheese filling. And we have a discussion about egg wash because Becca's instructions say egg yolks only. And the instructions I was using said whole egg. We did determine that the egg yolk only really did give you a little bit better color. I think we talk about that, but it's been a minute since I listened to it.
We do. We talk about it. Yeah, we do. But that's a good little recap. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I am wrapping up my salmon finally. The recipe called for 2 pieces. I just used 1 piece and folded it over the top. With a little help from Gretchen, you'll hear her kind of guiding me on how best to place it. And it does end up on my pan a little wonky, but it turns out fine. So again, like Gretchen said though, so once I wrap my salmon in the dough, it goes into the refrigerator to sit for a little bit because we don't want melting dough at any stage and any protein.
Again, alert!
Alert!
Nothing can occur! And we also get our On Food and Cooking out to talk about denaturing protein because that comes up as part of the eggs, I believe. Wasn't that part of it?
I think so. I can't remember exactly how it came up, but it connected to the eggs and the salmon, and it was a really cool, interesting conversation.
It was the salt and the salmon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forget. I remember now.
It was fun.
Yeah. Interesting thing because again, it's been a long time since I read about denaturing proteins in depth. So gotta do a little refresher every once in a while. Our brains are like sieves. Things come in, but they also go back out.
It's a calculated move. What is important today?
And to just highlight something we talk about in this section, we recorded a pasta episode. We haven't listened to it yet. We sort of went on a different track after we decided to record it. So now it may or may not hear the light of day depending on sound quality. We might just record a new one. So
yeah, we might record one. But that first attempt was really rough for me. It was the first time it wasn't the first time I'd made pasta from scratch, but only like tried 2 or 3 or something. But it was the first time I'd used a pasta rolling machine, and it was new, and the dough was really fucked up. And the combo of the fucked up dough and the new machine with like metal shavings everywhere, it was kind of a disaster. So we will probably record it, but again, who knows? But you'll hear us reference that, and we just wanted to clarify what was going on with the missing pasta episode.
We should just put out a section of episodes someday if we ever find somebody to do audio editing for us, and be like, just like hand them all those recordings, be like, you do all these, and we'll put them out as the lost episodes. So.
Yeah, what can you pull from all of this gibberish?
The lost episodes. That's what we'll just refer to them now.
The lost, yeah.
Anytime that we bring those up, we'll just call them the lost episodes. Last night we watched the new holiday specials from the Great British Baking Show.
How was it?
Oh, they were really funny because one of them, have you heard of the Netflix show Dairy Girl? Like Derry? It must be
yes.
hilarious. Have you watched it?
No, I've seen it. I just didn't recognize title until you said Derry.
Yeah, I was like, I have to spell it because it's gonna sound like I'm saying dairy. D-A-I-R-Y, not D-E-R-R-Y.
Right.
So they had one where the stars of that show actually came on and cooked. And so it was amazing because they're all hilarious, and only one of them had any idea what she was doing. They all did really well. But
that's fun. Did they have to do like a technical and everything?
Everything, the whole 9 yards, which was great. It was awesome because they made them do, for the technical, it was like the little blintzes with smoked salmon and like a beet mousse.
Yum.
So it wasn't horribly challenging, but a little bit harrowing, just challenging enough.
Sure. Get your heart rate up a little.
Yeah. Turn my oven back up to 425 because I'm pretty sure my recipe. Oops, nope, wrong thing. I set a timer for 425. Whew. I probably needed a slightly larger piece of plastic wrap. Should have done like 2 or 3. Because it wants you to like take the ends and like twist them like little pieces, like it's a giant candy roll or something. I was not able to do that.
Next time.
Right. Next time.
I just have to do my onion.
Okay, I need to go grab an egg to do my egg wash. So your egg wash is supposed to be egg yolks, right? Not a whole egg?
Yeah, just the yolk. Why not the white, the egg white?
I'm not 100% sure in this case. The yolk is, I think, so I have a theory, difficult to prove, but maybe.
But let's try it.
But like, yeah, here, I'm just going to think out loud for a few minutes here. Number one is that if you're just using the yolk, you get all of that really nice pigmentation, that nice yellow color. So it'll like enhance the color of your pastry a bit too. And so that's my current thinking, but I need to check to see if I'm a full egg or a part of an egg. 1 large egg beaten is mine. So it really depends on what you want to do.
I might prefer the egg white only then.
Oh, well, I don't know if I can condone that.
Or should I do the whole egg? Okay, so I'll do I'll do 1 whole egg instead of 2 yolks then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Because mine just calls for a whole egg. So I'm not sure why yours says egg yolk. From what I know, there's no real good reason for that. Although maybe I'll do mad Gretchenist experiment and do just yolk on one end and do a whole egg on the other, and then I'll be able to see.
That's fun.
I told you about how I pasteurized a bunch of eggs a while ago, right?
What? No. What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
And this is only coming up because I'm using them right now.
How do you do that?
Using the sous vide. So you use the sous vide and you bring them up to the pasteurization temperature and then hold them there for, I think it was an hour. And it just helps keep the eggs usable for longer. But it did like make the egg yolk, like it does change the appearance of the egg, if you can see. It's like slightly cooked. But my dad got one out of the fridge and didn't realize it because it was sitting on top of the cartons that actually said pasteurized, I think, or I'd moved it or something. And like he put it out and he was like, "Oh my God, what happened to this egg?" And just because it does look like it, you shouldn't eat it, you know?
Right. This can't be right.
Although I just trying to separate the pasteurized egg white from the egg yolk was quite challenging. So I guess it makes better whole pasteurized eggs versus something you'd want to separate. And I have to spend like 20 minutes taking pictures of that the puff pastry I made. I'm so excited about it. Like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Definitely makes it stick to the shell. This is funny. But considering I got these eggs back in like August and they're still good and usable, it's kind of exciting.
Pretty amazing.
Definitely changed the consistency of the egg.
I could imagine it changing the consistency.
Yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to be cooking it to the point, but like, since I think because eggs denature at such a low temperature, and you can denature eggs just even by putting acid on them. So
what do you mean when you say denature?
Actually, you know what? I better grab my book and make sure I know what I'm saying when I'm saying denature. Okay. So I'm like, what if I don't actually know what I'm talking about? Or if I'm using the wrong word? Don't want to do that. Get out our, what have I been calling it? OFAC, the OFAC. Denaturation of proteins. Okay, so denaturation, or the undoing of their natural structure by chemical or physical means. So basically, it's just anytime you change the protein. So chemical means would be like using an acid, and that would change your proteins.
And so then physical is cooking it.
It's not a change in composition, only a change in structure. So unlike when we do the thermal decomposition with the sugar, which is a change in the chemical makeup, this is strictly a structural change of the protein.
Got it.
The salt is denaturing the proteins in your salmon because they're like, it's getting, a little bit more structure. It's solidifying a bit. Well, that would be chemical denaturing. So
right, not a physical.
Not a physical.
What about making ceviche?
Same. That's chemical, because you're using acid usually to denature the protein in the fish.
Okay.
When they say things like you cook it in the acid, that's what, like, you'll hear people use that phrasing sometimes. That's what's happening with that.
Got it. I might wrap up my salmon because it has to chill for 30 minutes in the puff pastry.
The En Croute.
Oh, yeah, in the croute.
Guess I'm going to have to do something with the puff pastry I just bought today because I left it on the counter. Thought I'd put it away. Couldn't find it. Now I just found it. Yes, I got to do something with that. Luckily, I have some like peach pie filling in the freezer that I need to use. So maybe I'll make some peach turnovers. If you wanted to do yours first, and I can watch you and like, just so that, like we did with, what was that thing we had to like spend ages trying to get it right? Was that the gnocchi dough that we did, or the pasta dough?
I think it was the first time we did pasta.
You kept kneading
and kneading. I had to do so many passes.
Yeah, you're right. I remember now.
Yeah, and it kept sticking. Okay.
And you've washed your salmon now?
Yeah, so I washed it and it's dry. I mean, there's still like a little bit of pepper on it.
Oh, that's fine.
That's probably fine, right?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
We put one of them skin side down. So again, if we're doing our shoe analogy, sole side down. And then fill it up with the cream cheese or top that with the cream cheese filling. Yeah,
so you're going to have both your, like you did with the curing, I think you've got both of your skin sides out, right?
The interior pieces meet in the middle with a layer of cream cheese between them. It's a pretty big layer.
Well, feel free to not have to use all of it if you do not want to.
I don't know if I'll use all of it. And then the other piece goes on top. Again, inside, sock side of your shoe.
Right.
They're not totally even, so there are a little bit of places there's like one layer of salmon and cream cheese, but not another layer of salmon. But that's probably fine.
I think that's okay. Yeah. I think you're good.
Ugh, this is gonna be pretty thick on the top.
Could you move the salmon over a bit? Do you think you could do that?
Which way?
I would move it.
This way?
Yes. Yeah. Just a little bit further that way so that you can basically just cover it over because it's pretty much right in the center, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah. No, you're good. You've made pies before, right?
Yeah, but not that many.
But you know how
pinch
you
the
like
edges a little.
Yeah, bring the edges together. You might want to cut
Some off.
because I think otherwise you'll have a huge crust around the edges and you're gonna be like, this is unpleasant. I'd trim it so
Yeah.
you have
Okay.
no more than like 1.5 inches of dough for your
Okay.
peeling.
Okay. Too much still or no?
No, I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's a great thing. But yeah, you're gonna be a lot happier with that
Okay.
amount of edge. Instead of trying to roll that much dough.
Okay. And then you'd like pinch it.
Yeah, I would pinch it together.
Not very good at this part at all. This is messy.
It's your first try, and you're not on the Great British Bake Off,
Yeah.
so nobody cares.
It's true. Okay.
That looks so good.
Like a scallop. Okay.
You look great.
So-
Yeah, that looks great. And then you're gonna brush now with your egg.
Should I do the spoon thing?
Oh yeah, I
Scales?
would. But you're supposed to brush it first and then do the
Oh.
scales. Because basically you're gonna use that browning action that you're gonna get from the egg wash, and you're basically like taking a little bit of that egg wash off to really make that scale stand out.
Got it. All right. One layer of egg wash going on.
All right. Shoot, we were supposed to seal the edge with a little bit of the egg yolk
Seal the edges.
before we closed it.
Oh, the line inside, you mean?
Yeah, but it should be fine.
Oh,
You've smushed it together, so I think it's pretty good.
okay.
So you're gonna do the scale effect. You're actually gonna do after it's been in the fridge.
I see.
Yeah, interesting method.
There's a lot of curious things about this recipe.
I mean, it's definitely interesting.
So far, it's all working out pretty good.
No, I think
The water thing.
well, but it worked out for you. It just didn't work out.
Well, I ended up putting almost a cup though, because
Yeah.
remember I had that ice in there, so it still was not quite enough water for what I used.
I'm going to go get my dough.
Okay.
You're about to go in the fridge, and then I can do mine, and you can watch me do mine.
Okay. I'm not supposed to cover this, right? With a plastic or anything?
I don't think so. You
Okay.
shouldn't need to because you've applied. Oops, lost my plastic wrap. No idea where. So you've like applied moisture to the top. So I think even they're sort of like aiming to dry it out just a smidge.
Oh, I forgot to do preserved lemon.
Oh
Shit.
no! I should have written it in there. Oh well.
I have them out too. Oh well.
Next time, if you ever
Yeah.
decide to torture yourself like this again.
Okay, so section 4. Gretchen is starting the process of wrapping up her beef. My salmon is resting in the fridge, already wrapped up. I'm also working on the pickle side dish thing, which is the cucumber and red onion based side. And I also forgot to use that ultimately. I totally left it on the counter and never touched it again. So just FYI.
Well, you did eat it at some point, right? Or did you just throw it away?
I tasted it later, but I didn't ever eat it with the salmon.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
And this is the section where you get to hear all about my fun little extra pastry snacks. So
Yeah.
you can look forward to that in-depth discussion of snacking and wrapping things in pastry.
Cheese and salami or ham.
Oh, I think I did turnovers too later. I
Oh,
don't think
you
I did
did.
those during the episode. I did those later.
That's right.
But I made little
That's right.
peach turnovers too. So
Yum.
endless uses. I'm starting to wrap mine. Had a little bit of a mushroom eruption over here, so
Just a, typical mushroom eruption.
this happens all the time. Oh no. It
Oh.
doesn't fit.
Oh no.
It barely
What do we
fits.
do? Okay. Phew.
We're gonna roll it with the rolling pin a little bit further out.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give myself another inch or so. I'm going to remember to seal mine since we forgot to seal yours.
Yeah. Make sure you follow that step.
Here we go. Take 2.
Take 2.
Okay. Ooh, okay. I think this is working.
Okay. Phew.
Dan's here?
What should I do with this little bit of pastry that I have left over?
I don't know. You could bake it.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Just put some jelly on it.
just dip it in something.
That's great.
Yeah, it says to crimp this with a fork. Sort of going to be a little hard for me to do because it's flat, but then I'm also going to set it seam side down.
I'm doing my vinegar pickle thing a little differently than they suggested.
Well, that's fine. Why would we ever do anything the way they tell us to do it?
It says to, right? It says to make the pickle, put the cucumber and onion in a bowl, tip the vinegar, sugar, and a pinch of salt into a pan and bring to a boil.
Oh.
Once the sugar has dissolved, pour over the veg, toss well, and set aside. So I already vinegar. I hadn't read that part, and I think now I'm just gonna pour. It's dissolved now.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna pour it over the cucumber. Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Do it that way. I like it.
Okay.
This beef Wellington is being very fat and not cooperating.
Oh, well, it's the holidays. We've all
tried to
all
do
eaten a
something
little
fancy. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And had it not go the way we were originally planning. Has that happened to other people? I feel like it must have.
Right.
We're going to put that puppy back in the fridge for a little bit.
How long does yours sit in the fridge for?
I think it said 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to give it at least 20. I'm over here taking pictures of my failed dough next to my good dough.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I bet I could bake up these little extra pieces of puff pastry here real quick. Ooh, I'm going to be fancy. I'll be right back. Oh, wait. I'm going to be fancy in a different way.
New fancy plan.
New fancy plan. Fancy plan. I might have all kinds of uses for my puff pastry that I bought and then left out by mistake. Let's try and figure out what you were doing over there.
Besides making a mess, I have some of this cream cheese filling left over, and I got black sesame crackers by mistake, and I thought I might try them with this cream cheese stuff.
Boredom snacks.
It's really good.
I bought cheese curds at the farmer's market yesterday. So I'm going to wrap up some cheese curds in the puff pastry. And I'm putting some salami in the puff pastry. So I'm making all these weird little finger foods.
That sounds great. How are you wrapping it?
So the cheese, I'm just kind of wrapping it entirely in puff pastry.
Mm-hmm.
And then the soft salami, I'm sort of like just I'm taking the salami and rolling it up. And these other ones I just wrapped it around. It's an experiment of sorts.
Oh, fun.
Cheesy thingamabob.
So there's cheese in the middle, prosciutto, and then kind of a
I hadn't even thought of putting cheese in the middle too. So hang on, let me make at least one of those.
Thought you were doing that.
No.
Well, I'm glad we are talking out loud.
I know. Now we're going to go with a salami with cheese in the center, wrapped in the puff pastry. Could be the title of the book of my life. There's snacks.
Here are snacks. There will be more.
There will be more snacks. And I'm like, okay, now I got to get that puff pastry I just bought out and do a few more of these things. You want to know what show I've been watching? And like, I've never heard anybody talk about it, but I'm like, this show is really good.
What?
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I started that.
I like it.
It's pretty good.
I was just like, why is nobody talking about this? And there's like 7 seasons.
It had a couple seasons, right?
Yeah, 7 seasons.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Oh, here we go. Here. Aha. It's all mad Gretchen's experiments over here. Natural vehicle for the whole egg wash versus just egg yolk egg wash. There we go. Nice little testing ground.
Oh, perfect.
So basically all of the sausage things or the salami things have whole egg.
Okay.
And then my cheese packety things have egg yolk. Yeah, you could already see there's a pretty significant. The egg yolk adds a lot more color.
I'm sure a lot more yellow.
Into the oven.
Into the oven they go.
See how that turns out. I like these curds.
All right.
Lonely goat garlic crazy curd.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. It's working really well with the salami too. So just the snacks. You have a timer going for when you need to put yours in?
Yeah, I have 3 minutes on it being in the 3 minutes left for it to chill in the refrigerator.
Okay.
And then mine cooks for 40 minutes.
Mine's the same.
Okay. Are we going to put them in at the same time? Is yours chilled enough?
I might give mine a few more minutes.
Okay.
Because I think I was about 10 minutes behind you, or at least 10 more minutes behind you. So.
Okay, so I'll reset my timer for 10 more minutes.
Plus, I just put my snacks in the oven, so.
Right. We got to put some space between those things.
Yeah.
And I'm still eating my black sesame crackers with cream cheese.
Your filling.
Yeah, watercress and dill.
So the filling doesn't suck.
I'm
just going to sit down here and watch these little puppies bake.
Okay.
Stretch my back a little bit too while I'm down here. I can multitask.
Yeah, you can.
What time is it? 1:43. Pretty close to on time. Not going to run too far over. Yeah. So what are the black sesame crackers like?
I haven't had them on their own yet. I should taste them, but they're really good. It's Rustic Bakery.
Oh.
They're the sourdough flatbreads, you know?
Oh, nice. Yes, the good stuff.
So good.
I ran over to Browns Valley Market today and they had Rustic Bakery, like little cookies and stuff. And I was like, don't get it.
Right? They're so good though.
I know.
Those little like lemon shortbread cookies and the chocolate. Oh my God.
Yeah, they had like little, winter shaped ones. And I was like,
even better.
Man.
I love holiday shaped things.
I know. Who doesn't?
Right?
Ugh. I had to talk about my niece for a second because man, is she cute. And oh boy, is she
my God, yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah, she's getting big.
Yeah, she's apparently she's literally quite small.
Oh,
She's
just a little girl. Yeah,
she's a little thing. But none of us are huge in this family, and in Pamela's family. So, but she keeps telling her new thing is to tell people to stand back.
What? That's so funny. Like,
it's hilarious.
Is she on the metro a lot or something?
No. She's she's telling my brother and Pamela to stand back mostly.
Oh,
and I guess
stay away.
Yeah. And so she was on her bike yesterday or today or something, and there's a bit where she has to be lifted up so she can go over this bump, and so she got lifted up onto the thing and then told my brother and his wife to stand back, everybody. So I'm just so amused by how funny she is.
Stand back,
everybody.
Give me some space, people.
It's like little pigs in a blanket of sorts,
right? A prosciutto tips stick note.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going for first, because I have another pack of prosciutto, because I was like, oh, Mom loves prosciutto. I'll do something with prosciutto. And I was like, wait, I have all this Parma salami, which I love, because the prosciutto that Trader Joe's has isn't Parma prosciutto anymore. It used to be, but it's not. But it's still really good. It's like one of my favorites. I don't know why. It's like it's not expensive, but I like the flavor of it. And but then so I get this Parma salami that's made with the other cuts from the Parma ham, like Parma pigs, and it's so good. Like it's really has that Parma quality to it.
Nice.
So that's what I wrapped up in my little packety things here.
Fun.
And wrapping up our time here in section 5, Becca gets to do her fun little decorations with the scales. And then I believe you got yours in first. Mine was, or did we go in the oven at the same time?
We timed it at the same time. I ended up letting my salmon rest a little longer in the fridge, just so that we could
bake together.
Put them in at the same time. Exactly. Yeah. And mine is kind of interesting. My recipe for the fish, it's 40 minutes total. The first 20 minutes are at 425 and the last 20 minutes are at 350.
And mine just goes for 425 the whole time. So I think that's your cheese not having as much density in the middle. So you don't want to high heat that and melt your cheese out. I think is part of what that is going on with that.
That makes sense. I think we also suggest that it could be that the beef is just thicker, being rolled up and everything, and you just need to have that consistent heat throughout the whole cooking process.
And then we forgot to hit record after we took a smoke break. So you missed out on us prepping our asparagus. But no, there was asparagus as part of this whole ordeal.
You'll hear us pick up with okay, Rebecca's asparagus is in the oven. And Gretchen's is not quite ready to go. But I only did olive oil, salt, and pepper. So it wasn't like you missed a lot.
Right. It was very basic. I mean, the main star here is the En Croute. So just keeping the side dish very easy, like a salad, or literally just making that pickle as a side, probably the way you want to go for the most part. Yeah, you didn't miss anything exciting in the asparagus prep section. So
no, but it's probably confusing when we start talking about asparagus all of a sudden.
Like asparagus! Yay!
And that's it for the last part. Once you take your Wellington out, is it pretty much ready to go right in the oven?
Yeah, basically we're going straight to the, yeah. So were you thinking of getting yours out and doing your scales? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I just need to brush mine. So that would be, okay. I'm just gonna sit here and watch my things bake for a little bit longer.
Okay.
My cheese is sort of coming out of the wrappers here.
The cheese is coming out. It's like melting out.
So that was my timer saying it'd been 10 minutes. So.
Well, that'll be great because in 4 minutes, we'll be at 30 minutes for you.
Hear that sizzle. Oh, yes. Those are done. Now, my wraparound one didn't work so well, but that's okay. All right, going to go get my thing then, so I can just get the egg wash on.
Okay.
Get these suckers going. Ow. My feet are gonna be angry with me later.
Yeah, this is a long one.
Well, no, I just kicked busted my foot on the.
Oh.
All right. So here's my assessment. The ones that were just yolk got a little more brown. That was pretty much the extent. And it's like more consistently brown, but.
Got it.
So maybe there's just more brown, the good browning agent in the yolk.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I made some decorations for the top now.
I saved some dill, but otherwise.
Hang on. I can solve this problem. Get some of the store-bought stuff out, but do I need to make it fancy? Should I make it fancy? I know what I'm going to do. I'm glad I guess kind of one of the advantages of making my own pastry was that if I had bought store-bought pastry, that it comes in little sheets. I just rolled this out some. The sheet is
you get
really
to
small.
shape it, you mean?
Yeah. So if you do it yourself, you can make a large sheet to go around, because this is just maybe 8 by 8 was what it came in as.
Which is, as I learned yesterday, 7 by 7 is not that big. So
it's
an 8
not
by
very
8
large.
is not that much bigger.
Nope.
Look at my scales.
Nice. I love it.
Oh, you're in the middle of something. Sorry, I didn't.
I was, but that's fine.
Sorry.
I'm taking pictures of my decoration on top of mine. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, please.
Keep in mind, this is the store-bought pastry though on top. So I make no claim.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Three little bunnies. All right. Did you already go in or no?
Nope. I haven't even put it on the baking tray.
Oh,
1 second.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I have to take the plastic off underneath.
Oh.
Okay. I was worried for a little bit.
Little tension?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, okay. That is what it is. That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready. Going in.
20 minutes. So 20 minutes, and then we turn it down to 350 for 20 more minutes. Or that's what mine says.
I'm checking mine right now. Mine does not have any variation on the temperature. Just straight up.
I wonder if maybe because the beef has to cook a little more. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's so huge.
Yeah.
Hyperlapse video going.
Okay.
I was about to tell you a story about how the bowl I was smoking in my room is a leftover bowl, so I have no idea what was in it.
Oh, fun.
It's an interesting high. I'm gonna turn this down. Well, I might put my asparagus in too, because I guess if I'm turning it down, I better give it a little more time.
Right.
The things on the top are very dark. I may need to put something over them.
My edges are getting really dark.
Okay, asparagus going in the oven. Got some juice coming out. So I didn't seal it quite as well as I probably should have. I think I am just gonna pop something on those little bunnies so they don't get brown, any more brown.
Oh yeah.
They are already quite brown. What did you find? Thought that was what I was hearing. Good girl. Nice job. Okay. Aria found the treat ball, and I couldn't tell if like I was hearing like bunnies rustling around or what I was hearing. So it's like, I should probably go check because I am wearing noise canceling headphones. So this could be a lot louder than I think it is.
Yeah. Are they okay?
Well, apparently poor Isabella is getting old. She fell over this morning when she got down for her breakfast. So we have to make a ramp for her. She can't jump up and down anymore safely. So we need to make a little ramp so she can get up on her shelf. Poor thing. She's so old.
How old is she?
She's 9.
Wow.
Yeah, she is the longest residing rabbit, and I think the longest I've ever had any rabbit in my life. Damn things are fragile.
Mm-hmm.
Not this one though. She'll live forever.
Seemingly, yeah.
So I set that for 35 minutes. I think I'm gonna give this another 10. I mean, that is just a recommendation for medium rare, and I do like my meat more rare, but I know I'm not the only one eating this either. So
Right.
we'll go for medium rare.
I don't think my scales are coming through.
No? Oh, bummer. Maybe they needed to give more guidance on the how
pressure.
the scales, were to work.
Yeah, because the one in the picture looks so cool. I guess there's like pretty big spaces between.
I mean, yours looked like they were spaced out well. Like they'd be really visible. But maybe it was just not enough pressure.
I have a lot more cream cheese in the middle than is in the photo too.
Oh no, more cream cheese.
Bummer.
Bummer.
Oh, are you gonna drink anything special with this Wellington?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, now the question is, do we go really special because it's such a thick fucking thing to make? Just go with what I think. Maybe a Pinot Noir.
With that Dijon.
Yeah, maybe a Treisette from Brighter. You know, just something you can't get anymore, just to brag.
I'm gonna do Chardonnay.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Should work really nice with the pastry.
I hope so, and the salmon. I've got 3 minutes left.
I have 8. Oh,
because you went for another 10.
Yeah, I went for another 10. Just because I felt like it probably was gonna need it.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you mine at 40.
Oh, I hear a timer.
The 1 minute mark.
Yeah, so I'm basically 5 minutes behind you.
If it's ready. If mine's ready at that point.
Right. This is also a fair point.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my God.
The wait is almost over.
Finally. 2 days.
Well, and like talking about it for like a month.
Right. Okay, little salmon en croute.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be done in just a minute.
Okay, let me know when you can look over and I'll show you.
All right, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm looking. Oh, that looks really nice.
Yeah, you think it's done?
I think so. Maybe a smidge pale on top.
Another like 5 minutes, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
I grab my asparagus out. Okay, 5 more minutes.
I'm going to pull it. I think it's ready.
Okay.
Oh my God. This even looks adorable on the tray. With all the green asparagus around it. It looks so cute.
I bet. And the bunnies?
Too bad.
It's very springy.
Yeah, it's very spring. It's not really a New Year's looking thing.
But it's fun.
Yes. I'm gonna poke it because I was like, I'm not really gonna be able to tell what the temperature is inside.
Right.
Oh, 118. All right. 117. All right. A little bit lower.
What's medium rare?
120. And
okay.
Towards at the ends, it's at 160. So the ends are going to be pretty well done.
Got it. Does yours need to rest?
Yeah, mine needs to rest. I was going to say it should rest for at least 10 minutes before I cut it.
That's what mine's 10.
Yeah, 10 minutes before carving and serving.
We are like almost done.
Because you're the newbie to this. So how hard is it for you?
If I didn't have you talking me through the dough part, it would have been a lot more intimidating. And then when I get intimidated, I get really flustered. And there's a potential for 5 if you're just doing it. If you haven't listened to our podcast, which obviously this will help you. If you haven't and you're just going in cold making it, I think it could be a 5 at that point.
I'm just a little bummed because my bunnies their butts all sort of lifted off so they have like they lean over the top a little bit, but
they're jumping.
They're jumping bunnies, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is it.
That timer went off right as you said, this is it.
This is it. Becca, you're almost done with En Croute.
Okay, I gotta lower my computer again so you can see.
So I can examine. Look at your beautiful mise en place. Oh yeah, that looks perfect.
Okay. Yay.
You could maybe go a shade longer, but it's at a nice level right now. So
I was wondering if I should go just maybe like 3 more minutes.
Maybe. Did you do the second egg application?
Oh no.
Don't
do 3 more minutes.
Yeah. Because I think if you'd done that second egg application, you would have gotten a little bit more brown.
So that's what's happening. And that makes sense because the edges had a little more just because there was a little bit of like a divot kind of thing. So there was a little bit extra on it. There you go.
That's why I was like, wait, maybe we need to compensate. Yeah, if you didn't have the egg wash on there, it would be pretty pale.
That makes sense.
Protein just really getting your Maillard reaction on the top because it's the protein in the egg that's browning.
Got it. Okay, so we have 10 minutes of resting time. I guess we'll probably call it for
the recording.
We're reporting out. Yeah, what we're reporting.
I was gonna say, unless you really want me to be here for when you cut it, but I feel like you're gonna send me pictures, and I think that's okay because I'll
take pictures.
The rest of it. So.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures. My asparagus is done. I might have overcooked it just a little bit. I think the 20 minutes for these little guys
was a bit too much. Yeah, mine looks pretty well done, and I did it like maybe 3/4 of your time.
Yeah. That makes sense. And it was just coming off of a really hot 425 oven. So those first couple of minutes were pretty toasty. Okay. Well, I've got my wine ready. I've got my mise en place ready. And I'm so excited. Oh my God. I can't wait to see yours too. Send me pictures when you cut it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got to get like a cutting board with a lip on it.
Okay. This was awesome. Thank you so much for talking me through all the steps. And what a fun way to kick off the year. Yay, 2021.
Yay, 2021. We're looking forward to the upswing.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Here you are at the end. You know that our En Croute has come out delightfully well. And we just want to note that for the puff pastry itself, we ended up using a bit more water and flour than the recipe called for. And it probably could have had a little more salt. And yes, I officially will never be able to buy store-bought puff pastry again because I'm a pretentious asshole and was comparing the two side by side. Like, I guess I never really tried it, store-bought and homemade side by side before. It was always, I was like, yeah, no, store-bought puff pastry is great. Like, no need to make it at home. And now I've found another thing that I will never be able to buy from a store again because it will always feel like crap to me.
That you'll have to invest 3 hours of your time in to enjoy for one meal.
Maybe the key is to make bigger batches and then freeze it so that it's not quite as much work.
Right. It can be frozen. We know that.
We do know that.
So to wrap up some thoughts for the salmon, you'll remember at one point I say, like, once we've confirmed that the dough is in good shape, I say something like, watch, I'm going to fuck up the salmon now. And I kind of did. So it ended up being way too salty for me. And I think it's probably because I didn't rinse it enough after the curing. When I was listening through, I heard myself saying, like, there's still some pepper on it. And I should have taken that moment to just rinse it off, because if there was pepper, there was probably a lot more salt that I wasn't seeing. So that's my suspicion. Either that or the cream cheese filling was too salty. I did love it though. I loved it. It was really fun. I thought it was exciting to make. Even though it was too salty, and I forgot to use the pickle. And also, P.S., I was a little bit tipsy when I was taking the final product pictures. So I'm sorry if those photos are a little blurry. But I did love the process. And I think I'm definitely going to look into curing fish more often. I've been reading up a little bit about it, and I'm excited to try some more options with that. So I thought it was great.
I know. I'm surprised at how much I want to make this again. Like
I want to get it right.
Well, even just because the leftovers were so good. You didn't even have to warm it up. You could eat it. Like I ate it cold at least once. It warmed up fairly well in the microwave too. It's kind of a good thing if you want to have some leftovers that will last you a little while and just want something to slather a bunch of mustard on, because that's basically what I did, was just slather it in mustard and then eat it. So
all the work up front, and then you get tons of leftovers.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good. I'm just so incredibly impressed with it. And I mean, when it comes down to it, if you did make batches of dough and then put them into the freezer, it could be a totally manageable, put together in a couple of hours type of meal. Would take a little bit of practice, I think, mostly for the wrapping section of this, but
sure,
it's not that hard. And I'm sure you could make excellent beef Wellington with store-bought pastry. You just want maybe to add a little flavoring or salt the dough a little more. I'm sure it's perfectly.
It's still going to taste really good.
Right. It will still taste good. I would definitely maybe do a little bit more on the decoration front. I'd also use the store-bought puff pastry for the decoration on top.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And I could have, when y'all watch the video, or if you've seen it already, you'll notice that they puffed up quite a bit. And if I had rolled the puff pastry a little bit thinner, I could have made them they wouldn't be as fluffy. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But I would think it would be kind of fun to do like some vines and leaves like over the top with some puff pastry. So that'll be for my next, actual dinner party whenever I can do those again.
Whenever those happen. And
6 more months or so.
We'll see. And I was bummed that my scales did not come out, even though I felt like I had done all the things right to get those scales to come out. So I want to make it again too for that reason. I want to get the salmon right, and I want to figure out how to get a scale imprint on the outside.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's just a little more pressure.
Yeah, probably. I don't know why I was like, I'm gonna poke through it, but I don't.
I mean, theoretically, also, like if you took like a really sharp knife or a bit of razor blade and like made little cuts almost, if you're sort of an X-Acto blade, maybe would be a good thing.
There you go.
That might give you more definition. That's something you could do. And it's not a bad thing if you get a little nick through the surface, because then if you had seam inside, your seam can escape.
Sure. So we'll both probably be making these again. And I'd say in the nearish future for me. I'm excited.
I almost wish I had another beef tenderloin here, because I probably do it with the puff pastry I just made. I was like,
right.
I do have a little tiny one that I can do. Like teeny tiny
Twinkie size. Meatball.
Tiny Wellington. I might have to do that now. No, Gretchen, no, stop.
That's almost like a little Monty ball.
Almost. I feel like we should do Monty.
Could I do it with a veggie version?
I think we could find it.
I think we could too. I crave Monty.
So you have to do it. We have to do it.
We have to do it.
All right.
We could figure out a lamb spice.
A lamb spice?
Yeah, something that would give it a lamby flavor.
I'm just thinking that probably what we're going to end up doing for yours is using a combination of fresh and dried mushroom, probably.
Awesome.
Especially because you're going to have I'm going to have to start working on this right now.
Maybe we should do turkey.
Maybe we should do turkey, because I do love me some Turkish food.
So we're excited that our next episode is going to be one of an episode that we recorded a few months back.
A lost episode.
A lost episode, like pasta is resurfacing. We're really excited about it. We both loved making it. It's Detroit style pizza. And you can listen to that on January 10th. Then we've got a CannaQuest coming up on January
Mhm.
20th. We're following up on cannabinoids. And then we're very excited because we've decided that since we cannot travel in the next couple of months, and who knows when
Haven't.
again,
Yeah.
and haven't, and really want to both explore this sort of travel bug that we have, we're going to visit new countries in the next couple of months. And we're going to explore some cuisines there and some cannabis laws and the cannabis and culinary scene. And we hope you're excited to travel with us. So we'll kick that off in February. And that's why we were just talking about Turkey like that, because maybe we all get to travel to Turkey in the next couple of months then.
Be very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we hope you've enjoyed this En Croute series. We don't know that we'll be doing series very often because this ended up being even more work than we usually do.
This is a lot.
Running a podcast is like having a second full-time job.
Right. And we're loving it. And we're
yeah.
grateful for our listeners. Thank you for following us on Instagram and checking us out on all of the places you listen to podcasts. I think we can safely say that En Croute was a success.
Yes, definitely. I feel like we both were very successful with the pastry. That was the bigger question to me, was the pastry.
Right.
The filling is less consequential, but yeah, no, I say I'm sorry that your salmon was too salty, and it's definitely an easy mistake to make because I have for sure cured meat or cured fish and not rinsed it enough and had it come out absolutely insanely salty. So it's easy to do.
Yeah, I feel good about that being the mistake I made. I just think it's so funny that I said in that moment, like, watch, I fuck up the salmon, and you go, it's okay. If you got the puff pastry right, that's all that matters. And later I was like, it's true. And the salty salmon matters.
Both of those are true. But
but the hard part was the puff pastry, and
Yeah.
that was really fun.
Yeah.
So we have lots of videos, including a fun time lapse one that Gretchen is doing. So find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, hightgluttony.com.
Yay! The end. I don't know what to say here. Yay!
Go power. Go HG power.
Go HG power.
I don't know about that.
That's too weird. I don't like it. But something.
So
we'll
weird.
come up with a closer.
We've got something. Anyways, thanks for joining us. We've had fun. We hope you have fun.
Bye.
Bye.